assuming he ever did.
You never know. And hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. Hi there, guy. Yeah, it's the open chat. And I am the Lavender Lady, Diana Clarion. And with me is the one, the only, the brilliant, the beautiful Kate Farr, Bionic Dance. Hello, dear. How the heck are you?
It's been a weird couple of days, but not bad, I suppose. Yourself?
Oh, in a word.
Oh, good.
Yay. And I got scheduled for an anal probe. Oh, boy.
Yeah, unless it's done by aliens, I don't want one.
Oh, man, I really don't necessarily want one, but I really have to have it, I guess, because I talked to the people at the transplant center this morning, and all I need is to get that anal probe done and then have them talk to whoever is going to babysit me post-surgery.
So, I mean, is it as comfortable as they make it sound?
What?
A colonoscopy. I've never had one done. I don't know if you have either, but it sounds unpleasant and quite invasive.
Yeah, I've heard it described as less than pleasant. I mean, figure you got a television camera shoved up your arsehole.
I mean, if it was really small, I suppose it would be like weird, but not like,
yeah, could you just
like maybe not torture?
Could you just see getting a GoPro up your arse?
I'm sure there's people out there who enjoy it too much.
Yeah, of course. People who enjoy a lot of stuff really weird. Well, Beach would rather do a colonoscopy than have bigger problems.
Yeah, true, but bigger problems covers a very large amount of ground. You have to admit that.
Yeah. And yeah, Colleen, on a Thursday, we decided that we were going to move the Tuesday show to Thursday. And I think Mom Nato still thinks it's on Tuesdays because I found a message on my phone from her.
Mage just said there. Yeah, I did not have to have anything shoved up my snout to test for epilepsy. The seizures were enough.
Okay then. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to miss. You're doing the Herbert von Karajan thing over there, and she's got a problem.
What the fuck that is?
One of the best known conductors in the entire world, but that's okay, no problem. It's just
that's the thing, is best known is definitely like scene specific. Because let's face it, best known if you're into that kind of thing.
Well, even people who don't know.
I guarantee you go out and ask your average, like I don't know, someone in one of the flyover states, or heck, even just your average New York City citizen, you ask them who the hell that person is, they won't even know he's involved in music.
Moo.
Just saying, there's definitely a bubble there. Like I would expect most people to know who the hell John Williams is, but that's the only composer I would expect anyone to know from the modern age at all. And why? Because he's just very well known for his popular media stuff, his pop culture stuff. Hell, everyone knows a John Williams theme. Even if they don't know it's a John Williams theme, you whistle it, they go, oh yeah, from that movie. And I bet you most of them know the name John Williams and associate it with those theme songs.
And they always think of the wrong one.
Grigoro Popovich, or whoever the fuck you were talking about. Whatever he's done, I bet most people wouldn't know unless they're the pinky in the air wine glass types. I'm just saying. And what the hell is that about anyway? What is having your pinky up in the air supposed to say?
I have no idea. None at all.
I want pretzels.
Yeah, that would be tasty, wouldn't it?
Mmm. They go really well with this weed.
Hey, that's what I. Oh man, but I would have to go out and buy the pretzels. If I could
And
have,
the weed.
yeah, that too. If I could have pretzels and halupki.
Actually, okay, this is kind of a weird thought. You know how they will dip pretzels in like chocolate or yogurt or whatever the fuck?
Okay, yeah. Hmm.
I was thinking, what about pretzels with cake frosting as a dip?
Sounds like something that could be done.
Well, it definitely could be done. The question is whether or not it'd be tasty.
I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure of this, but I get the feeling that it has been marketed, but I'm not.
Well, I'm sure something like it has been. I know that there's these frosted graham cracker goldfish cracker cookie things out there. I
Okay,
know
yeah.
that.
Okay, what do we have? Okay, this is interesting. I looked up pretzels and cake frosting and I got a recipe for a chocolate pretzel cake. Okay. Chocolate peanut butter pretzel cake. What do we have here? Somebody with too much time. The way this cake is swirled all over the place. But we have 16 tablespoons unsalted butter, 3 to 4 cups powdered sugar, quarter teaspoon kosher salt, teaspoon vanilla extract, a window that opened in the
kosher salt.
If I remember correctly, it is not iodized, and it comes in large chunks rather than small crystals.
For what reason is it not? I mean, what makes it kosher though?
I'm not sure.
What distinguishes it from non-kosher?
I'm not
that
sure.
Makes it necessary. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Rules. I mean, religion comes with the most bizarre, out of nowhere rules. It's like, oh, don't eat that thing. It's very similar to all this other stuff you can eat, but that one, don't eat it. Why?
Okay, here, what do we have? Kosher salt is a naturally occurring mineral that is coarse-grained and is historically used for removing surface blood from meats. Okay. Kosher salt contains sodium chloride, but in most cases not iodine, qualifying it as a non-iodized salt. In a few circumstances, it may also have anti-clumping agents or elements. Okay, so I guess if it's just plain old sodium chloride with nothing else added, that's enough to make it kosher.
But why is any of that necessary? According to them.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I'm figuring that by the time you were getting the food laws together, back in the day when Moses was not alive, you didn't even have iodized salt. I mean, iodized salt is only a recent thing.
I remember seeing a Robin Williams routine where he was talking about why they invented circumcision. He says they were living in the desert. You don't want sand in there.
Okay. And it strangely makes sense.
I mean, I guess, but it was part of a stand-up routine.
And this is...
So grain of salt. I'm just saying, grain of salt here.
And iodized salt is not quite 100 years old. According to this thing, it was introduced in 1924.
You notice how it's not iodized salt?
Yeah, I noticed that. That's weird. It should be.
Well,
It should be iodized. Yeah, let's make our salt iodized.
yeah, or just admit that you're wrong.
Well, the chlorides, even though it's
Doesn't matter.
chlorine.
Iodine is how it's pronounced. We've established this. We established this literally years ago, and you're just being stubborn.
Well, wait a minute. What are you eating?
I'm not eating anything.
You said you were dying. No? I keep telling you, I am an expert at not being funny.
Yes, but that doesn't mean you have to take it out and play with it in public.
Oh, boy, what do these people think? Yeah, Beach, I think it was used in the preservation of meats, definitely.
I was so tempted to buy some uncured ham today just to see if I could figure out what the hell the difference was. Like, I know but I mean, in terms of taste, in terms of like, oh yeah, I would prefer this over cured ham because it tastes this way instead of that way. Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
And if there is no difference, I'll take the cheaper one.
I have a feeling that it's not going to be all too cheap either way. I mean, really.
Regardless, I want to know what the hell the difference is. Like, what is the benefit of having uncured ham?
What is the difference between...
I don't think that spooge is the technical term. I'm pretty sure what we're looking for is smegma. Just saying.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at what Beach said, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure spooge is the wrong term. It's like the difference between lava and magma, you see. One of them's under the surface, and the other one, well, anyway.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah. How you doing, honey?
Okay, so they do taste different. Beach, in what way do they taste different? What's the difference? Can it even be described in words?
I'll bet you it can be described in words. I just don't know, because, I don't think I've ever had uncured ham.
No, I'm sure I have. I just don't know. I don't know.
What is used to...
Okay, start from there. I love that you say I'm right. It's just there's a lot of lag. I mean, if you want to have a blanket, Kate is right. That's great. I just figured you meant something specific, and so I don't know what it is. But actually, if I guess, since I'm right, that'll be the truth. That whatever I guess will be so.
Okay.
Wow, the power. What'll I do with my other 2 wishes?
I don't know. According to this little thing here, the curing process involves injecting the pork with a mixture of chemicals such as sodium nitrate, sodium phosphate, potassium chloride, sodium erythrobate, along with other ingredients like, that's all one word, ingredients like salt, brown sugar, water, and flavorings. After the ham is injected, it is then fully cooked in either a smoker or an oven.
Now, here's a question. Is it possible to, like, smoke meats at home without, setting off alarms?
I don't know if you can do it in your kitchen. I know that one of my cousins...
that was my question, was the kitchen.
Oh, okay, because one of my cousins had a smokehouse in the backyard and would regularly smoke many sorts of meats.
Still have not managed to get my hands on some, like, Texas-style brisket.
Oh, you gotta. I dearly love this stuff, so you'll probably hate it.
Well, no, I mean, everything I've heard about it makes it sound good.
Yeah, it's, I love this stuff, really I do. As a matter of fact, I just got some rye flour delivered here, so now I can make some rye bread, and with the rye bread I can make a Reuben sandwich. and I can use some of that brisket I've got in the freezer.
There's a bagel joint near here that just makes such a great pastrami and Swiss.
Oh man, I'd like to have a real pastrami and Swiss sandwich.
Like, I don't know where they're getting their pastrami, but it's better than the stuff I was getting at the deli.
Okay then. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, like, I got that bagel home and I was like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I just loved it.
Moo. I've got to watch what I do with food anymore because I think my food stamp largesse has ended.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah,
means
oh, zucchini? Why? Why would you taint such a beautiful dish as pizza with zucchini? Why? Why would you do this horrible, horrible thing that would get you prosecuted for war crimes?
but I like zucchini.
On pizza?
Can't say I've ever tried it, but might not be all that bad.
It sounds horrific. I mean, let's put it this way. I would rather have pineapple than zucchini. I'm just saying.
That's a statement right there.
I mean, ew. I'll tell you the one single solitary place where I enjoy zucchini. Kung Pao chicken.
Okay, okay.
That is the only instance in which I have enjoyed zucchini Kung Pao chicken. I think the real problem is that the skin is disgusting, and it is that horrible, horrible, weird texture too. You know?
Well,
Like, I don't even like to eat unpeeled cucumbers. It tastes like soap.
okay, okay. I can imagine.
So,
I don't have that tasting gene, so
yeah. Now, okay, here's a weird thing. Being neurodivergent, being, on the autism spectrum, tends to come with, like, enhanced senses. And I don't know if it's enhanced senses so much as lack of filter, but for whatever reason, yeah. So I wonder if that's on top of being a super taster. Or if, the super taster is comorbid.
I don't know. That's an interesting thing.
Well, it's something I wonder, because if it's on top of being a super taster, I'm just like, what the hell? How many genetic lotteries can one person lose?
Oh man, I tell you, that was all sorts of fun. We in freshman bio, we're doing a whole bunch of those genetic tests. This that tasting test with really bitter stuff, and then a couple other things and everything. And I was turning up so many recessive traits. I had to wonder if I was a child of incest. I'll tell you, it was weird.
Well, given that my birth mother's adopted too, I think incest is unlikely in my case.
Yeah, okay then.
Just saying. But man, I don't know. It's well, I made some weird kind of progress with my dad yesterday.
Oh wow.
Like, he had not really understood what an autistic meltdown was. Like he still thought it was a temper tantrum, right? And it wasn't
Okay.
until I said to him, think of it more like having a seizure, except it's behavior instead of like physical tics. And that seemed to get through to him.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. But, like, for some reason, like, nothing was, and this is his word, impactful, until I started saying that. And also, there was some lady on YouTube that he found that was talking about it, too. And I was like, I've been saying all of these things to you for years. Why did someone else have to say it? And why did it have to be said in a very specific way for you to understand it? I mean, like, I get that way sometimes too, but it's usually because, like, someone started with the like the procedures without telling me the goal first, kind of things. This was like I told him so many times in so many ways that I was out of ways to try to explain the situation. Someone else steps in and goes, "Oh, it's like this." He goes, "Ah."
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much your parental units resemble the slimy bastards, but especially with him, I was without any sort of credibility. Nothing I said was worth anything simply because I said it. So I don't know if that's the way it's going with you, or I don't know.
There's nothing cruel about it. I mean, unless he hides it really, really well. I think he's just a dipshit.
Okay.
But that's the thing is, my parents are smart in certain ways, but they got gaps, big honking gaps. And that's gotten in the way of our relationship more than once.
And that's just so sad. I mean, maybe I'm thinking the wrong way here, and maybe it's wishful thinking, but I'm thinking that it would be kind of nice to have a nice relationship with parental units, but
yeah.
I don't know, and it makes me feel bad that shit gets in the way with you and everything else, and oh well, what are you gonna do? I guess I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll see. I mean, maybe if it sticks this time, I don't know. But it is very frustrating to not be heard.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, this looks interesting. I'm gonna have to fool around with this. I found a kung pao chicken recipe.
Well, the thing I've found is that all of those Asian recipes are just plain not worth it, because there's so many steps and so many procedures, and the ingredients will cost you like $30-40 alone. I'm like, you know what? Just go buy the P.F. Chang's Kung Pao sauce that they sell on the shelf. Trust me, it'll be cheaper and less frustrating.
Yeah, I can see how.
Days fewer as well.
I can see how this would be a little bit frustrating. I mean, you've got in the ingredients column, let's see, Shaojing wine. They also say you can use dry sherry. And then Chinese black vinegar. I have no idea what that is.
Actually, I think I might, but go on.
And then let's see, dark soy sauce, hoisin sauce.
Yeah.
And
I mean, hell, just try tracking all of that down.
Yeah, I might have to fool around and try to track some stuff down, because I want to get out doing some shopping at places that are not the usual place. It's like say a farmer's market or an Asian market, or stuff like that, just to get out and do the shopping at places I don't usually go to.
Yes, but when I say try tracking that stuff down, what I mean is nobody carries it. And if they do, it'll be like, the hoisin sauce, like $8 a bottle or some shit. It's like crazy. Just buy the $5 bottle of Kung Pao sauce from P.F. Chang's. Seriously. It's like, I guess the question is, what are you doing? Are you looking at meals as model kits, or are you looking at them as something to make to eat it? What matters more, tasting good or the building of it?
I think the answer is yes.
No,
I mean, not only do I want to eat it, I do want to build it.
Yeah, you have to pick one as a priority, though. There is no yes. You have to pick one of them as more important than the other.
Well, I can't say that building it is more important, but it is important.
Yes, but the question is about more. Let's put it this way. Suppose you made something where you loved the crafting of it, but when you took the first forkful, it was disgusting. Would you be happy about it?
No, I would not be happy.
Now,
No.
what if you cooked a similar meal, but with lesser ingredients and on a hot plate, but god damn did it taste good?
Well, that would be a very that would be very moo,
Well,
extremely moo.
so tasting good is more important than the crafting.
Uh, oh, okay. I see what's going on. Hi, dear. How you doing?
Hello.
Well,
Yay. So
Oh, yeah.
see what
somebody.
I'm saying is that the tasting good is a higher priority, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but the crafting it is also a priority. I mean, it's
Yes, but we're talking about higher priorities here. You don't have to keep qualifying it. You know, the point is, if you had to pick one, you'd probably pick something that tasted good and had lousy craftsmanship. Yes?
I do that all the time.
No, but I mean,
Agree with that?
if you had to pick taste good, lousy craftsmanship, or great craftsmanship but tastes like garbage, which one you picking?
Oh, I'm gonna pick the first one. No, I don't.
Well, there
I
you
don't.
go.
I don't do French food.
See, we should not have to have done a 10-minute dance to get there.
Me neither, Diana. I don't do French food.
I don't know what it is with these Parisians, where it's more important to them the way it looks.
Most
French
French food
fries
looks
is
like
about
part of
one
a
limit.
fraternity hazing.
Yeah.
Well, you have not had country French. I will say this, that the country
Like
French,
they grow them on trees there?
uh-huh,
Okay.
and then the south of France, Mediterranean, that stuff is good. Ooh, that's good. They are the people who taught the Italians how to cook.
Yeah,
there's-
but the
there's
Italians
a-
made it good.
There's a difference between cuisines in part of France you're in, actually. So.
I don't know. If I'm gonna go Mediterranean, I'm definitely going Italian or Greek, maybe. I don't know. There's some decent food. But
Greek
I would
is
rather
yummy.
go Italian, 'cause
Italian
I
is the
do
way
loves me
forward.
some pasta. I do loves me some marinara and Alfredo and all of that stuff. So definitely, and pizza. Come on, pizza. So I'm definitely going Italian here.
With the marijuana sauce.
Yes, actually, pot pizza. I wonder if that'd be any good.
Probably, yeah. Why not?
I don't know. I really should get I haven't actually cooked with weed yet. I should get some bud butter.
Oh, what? Throw some grass into the butter and melt it down and everything.
No, it's literally a product called bud butter. It's butter with weed in it.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you were describing something homemade.
Oh, okay. You can go out and buy this stuff.
That's what I said. It's like, let me put it this way. When I say bud butter, I'm not sure if I'm saying a brand name, but I might as well be.
Okay. It works.
Yeah.
There's a friend of mine used to do a sauce béarnaise with a strategic substitution for the tarragon.
Okay, I honestly know nothing about sauce béarnaise except that it exists.
Moo.
Like, I seem to remember it being part of a joke from Blackadder or Red Dwarf or something.
Okay, I
I
don't
don't know.
remember.
And I don't remember that, and I've watched a lot of Blackadder and Red Dwarf.
Well, so have I, but I'm pretty sure it's... I mean, hell, it could be Faulty Towers for all the fuck I know, but I know it was a British sitcom.
Well, Fawlty Towers' famous cuisine is duck, because if you don't like duck, you're rather stuck.
Mhm.
Duck is yummy and tasty.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And goose is even better.
Ah, yes, here
Yeah.
it is. Blackadder is describing Baldric's cooking, and he says your filet mignon and sauce béarnaise looks like dog turds in glue.
Which is kind of because.
Oh my! Now I pulled this out. Hang on. Let's see what's going on. Oh, there goes my damn headset.
Blackadder, and it was
Jesus.
Blackadder.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to fix this headset.
Well, there's the famous one, Kate, if you remember, about the coffee in Blackadder. I think this Blackadder goes fourth. Is the famous thing about the coffee.
No, yeah, well, it was hot mud, and the the cappuccino or something was like.
Yeah, it was saliva. Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Yeah, saliva was supposedly the milk, and then Captain Darling gets his cup and says, "Oh, cappuccino."
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was something about like his dandruff being the sugar.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember there was something about, do you have any of that like cinnamon you sprinkle on the top or something? And
yeah,
like, I could run it around. And, yeah. Oh, I love that show.
Okay, I had to look twice there, Sarah. Yeah, now I got your statement read correctly. Okay. What, are they coming for you there, or what? What's going on?
Well, those are clearly fire trucks, so no.
Oh, my.
It's kind of sad that I can distinguish one siren from another.
Now, are they the type...
I didn't do that on purpose. I promise you I did not.
Are they the kind of firemen that put out the fires or that set the fires?
Yes.
Okay.
They're one of those.
And, yeah, the Ray Bradbury fans out there, you'll get that.
Mm-hmm. It's been way too long since I've read that.
Yeah, same here. I'll have to pull it down.
I don't know. And the thing is, there's a couple of books I keep mixing up. Like Brave New World, 1984, and Fahrenheit 451, I can never remember which one is which, because they're all so similar in terms of energy.
I don't think I've ever read any Ray Bradbury, actually.
It's not worth it. He always makes everything like dark and dull and like, oh yeah, you ended up in hell at the end of it, didn't you? There's a lot of monkey's paw endings with that guy.
Yeah, but I kind of like that sort of thing. I mean, that sort of stuff is one of the reasons I really, really like Vonnegut.
It's one of the reasons I avoid Vonnegut. I want to feel better at the end of a story, not worse.
Oh,
I've never been one to enjoy a bittersweet ending. That's not what I want. That's real life.
I mean, the thing with me is, even though I like a lot of sci-fi, I don't actually read a lot of sci-fi.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, you know, obviously I watch films and TV or whatever, I don't often read it.
Well, I spent long hours just sacked out on the couch reading as a kid, so... Yeah, I consumed a lot of sci-fi and fantasy. I mean, like, way more than my share.
Yeah,
yeah,
fantasy, I mean, sort of fantasy things I can do from kind of reading the Song of Ice and Fire series at the moment, which I don't know why I got onto that, but, you know, but a lot of historical novels are kind of my thing, so...
Okay.
I don't know. Let's put it this way. If there isn't anything in what I'm reading that couldn't happen in the real world, chances are I'm not going to keep reading. You know, I needs me that sci-fi and fantasy thing going on. I need some Star Wars. I need some Star Trek. I need some Babylon 5. I need some Farscape. I need like frickin' Game of Thrones and all of that shit. You know, that I need that in what I'm reading.
I just realised, actually, I think I just told a bit of a lie here, actually, because I just thinking about it, I have read a few Star Wars books, so... kind of, yeah.
Well, I hope they weren't
tell a little bit of a lie there.
Michael Stackpole is a complete hack, so I hope it was Timothy Zahn.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and I know it gets criticised because it's like the new Disney canon, but I do like the new Thrawn stuff he's been doing.
Well, the thing is that Michael Stackpole is like he wanted Star Wars to be a hell of a lot darker and more grim than it is. Like, he wanted to make Star Wars grunge and emo. And I hated that about his writing. Whereas Timothy Zahn, when he would write, he made it feel a little bit more like we were actually reading a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I'm not against dark and grim, but I don't necessarily want it in my Star Wars.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, if I look at something like Alien or Aliens, and I'm like, well, that's not exactly the happiest story I've ever encountered, you know, but that's the world they created. But the world George Lucas created is not supposed to watch like a Tim Burton movie.
No. No.
So
yeah, I do like Timothy Zahn stuff, and so
Okay.
yeah, I know. I have read through the like the new Thrawn trilogy. I've got to get through this because he's done some prequels to Thrawn as well from new Disney canon or whatever, but Timothy Zahn, I know he initially tried to keep the story so it would fit in both like the old expanded universe and new Disney stuff, but unfortunately I think best by its best intentions, I think it ultimately would end up diverging a bit there.
Well, I don't know. I find myself more and more disillusioned with Star Wars to the point where it's hard to watch the original movies anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm starting to. I used to wind Bad Tempered Badger up about this all the time, whether he would argue that Disney is not canon, but I find myself more and more agreeing with him. Disney is not the real canon.
Yeah. Oh well. What can you do, I guess?
There are a lot of things you can do. I don't know how many of them you want to do. Oh my, okay.
No, I do feel like they have a responsibility to the fans. After all, we are the ones paying their salary. If we don't go to see movies, they don't get paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
The problem with them is I think they bank on the casual fans going and watching this stuff. That's the way Disney think. I think they got this attitude that the people who are into a lot of the expanded universe stuff are probably going to watch a movie or a TV series regardless.
Yeah, well, don't get me started on that bullshit. I have been advocating voting with your dollar for a very long time, but I need my Star Wars fix, damn it.
And I don't disagree with you, Kate, but it's they're very much more about let's get the casual kind of audience or whatever into. I mean, it's probably a reason why that some of the books that have come out under Disney are a bit better than what should we say has been on film. That they know they're kind of doing fan service with the books, I suppose. But
well, it was too late for me. By the time I saw Rogue One, I said, "Screw this crap. Disney doesn't know what they're doing."
I actually liked Rogue One.
Get out. Rogue One was absolute garbage. There were no characters to get attached to. By the time it was over, not only did I not remember anyone's name, I certainly didn't care that they died. I mean, seriously, the only way for me to have enjoyed Rogue One was for them to make me care about the characters, and they didn't even try. It was like watching somebody else play a video game.
Okay.
I think the closest I got to really caring about a character, and that was Donnie Yen's character, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. I grew up with a lot of Star Wars characters. I'm pretty invested in them, and you know, I would hate to see like something just really horrible done. I don't know.
But I think they maybe hit on a better thing is more with like TV series and stuff. But now I haven't watched the Book of Boba Fett yet, so I heard mixed things about it. I did enjoy The Mandalorian.
Well,
I haven't watched
I
the
mean,
Book of Boba Fett yet, so.
speaking of like movies and TV, though, there is a movie out there that I actually really enjoyed that got a lot of shit, and that's Jupiter Ascending. And I'm like, you know what? That movie would have been a much better TV show because it was clear that there was so much going on behind the scenes. It was clear that there was like a whole backstory that we just didn't have enough time to see because it's a movie and it couldn't take its time the way something like, say, Babylon 5 did. I would love to see a Jupiter Ascending TV series.
So what's the I mean, last I heard, I'm gonna ask you, Kate, about this. Babylon 5 reboot that's supposedly in the works, yay or nay?
I really just, at this point, I don't even, like, I mean, I care, but I don't care. You know, like, I think it's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. Like, why would you do that? How can you do that? It's like the story's been told already. Unless you come up with a completely different twist at the end of it, why would anyone watch a reboot? It makes no sense. But even then, I'm like, you know what, though? Just fucking do it. You're doing it to everything else. I don't even fucking care anymore, you know?
Yeah, I probably have been more on board if it was sort of a follow-up to Babylon 5 rather than rebooting it. But the fact that it's just he's involved, okay, the fact that he's involved, I'm maybe not as down on it as I, you know, but I don't know, we'll see. We'll see with it. I was such a...
Unless they fundamentally change something, though. I mean, like you know, Shadows, Vorlon's first ones, the one who was, the one who is, the one who will be, etc., Isilza, Entilza, Etzes, Valen, yada yada yada. I mean, unless you change every last scrap of that, there's going to be nothing exciting in a reboot.
Nah.
I mean, we'll all know what's coming. So unless it's like, yeah, this is sort of Babylon 5 Alternaverse. I mean,
see, this is why I loved, and I'm probably going to get shit for saying this, but I think the best reboot that was ever done of a series was Battlestar Galactica.
Ugh.
I loved it. I loved the reboot of that. But they did it in a way.
Grim.
But they did it in a way that was very different. You know, very different from the original.
Which, believe me, is a step in the wrong direction.
I don't think it was. I think they really. I think what they did with it was fantastic. Now the fact that they're on about rebooting it again.
There is a huge. Well, hold on. There's a huge difference between doing something well and doing something that should have been done. And even if they did reboot the Battlestar Galactica well, they took it in a direction I did not want to see. I do not like that dark and grim and everyone's grouchy, no one ever cracks a smile, much less a joke kind of bullshit. I hate that. I hate that so frickin' much. You have no idea how much I hate that, and they did it to Battlestar Galactica, therefore bad reboot, regardless of how well they did it.
Well,
you know, like that was a very well executed double murder, but you probably shouldn't have done it.
Well, okay, I might disagree with you a bit on that one, because I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the story of Battlestar Galactica is about like the, death of humanity more or less, and the few survivors. So I think it's got to be a little bit dark and grim.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does at all. I mean, let's face it. Take a look at Star Wars. Luke Skywalker, in the first act of the movie, loses his home, loses his family, and the next thing you know, he's all chipper and let's go kill the Empire. That's how movies are. They don't have to be realistic. They don't have to follow the emotions the way real people would do them. They just have to be fun.
If it was a movie, as a reboot, I get that. As a TV series, though, I think that would be done very well.
They made it work the first time around. I don't see any reason why it can't work this time.
But I think the idea that they're on about rebooting it and doing it again is something I'm not on board with.
Yeah, at this point, just make something new. Don't even call it Battlestar Galactica. I know they do that for marketing, but seriously, don't even call it Battlestar Galactica. Just make something completely new.
So say we
Okay. Completely different. Okay.
I say it that way for emphasis. You say it that way because you're a weirdo.
Yeah. It's just totally weird.
But
I don't know. I might try buying these headphones and see what happens. I broke these headphones.
Are you renting them now?
No, I need replacement headphones.
Well, you said please, and the only headphones I see are the ones on your head.
I'm looking at a picture of headphones on one of my screens here.
Yeah, context is always helpful.
Yeah, and at $39, it's better than some of the other stuff I've seen for over $100. Price-wise.
Well, it is interesting to me how often the cheaper option is actually better quality.
Okay.
Like that happens a lot, and I'm just wondering, am I disagreeing with the world at large or just the marketing department?
You're being a contrarian, but that's okay.
Honestly, if I was doing it on purpose, I'd be being a contrarian, but it just sort of seems to be the way it naturally shakes out, like it or not.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know if I would do something about it if I could, but I know that I'm not just being difficult.
No, but you're so good at it. Oh, well.
Yeah, well, imagine what would happen if I was trying.
Yeah, well, you're very trying.
You do difficult so well, Kate.
You keep me coming back for more,
Yeah, I thought it was more like you just couldn't fend me off, but all right.
Oh, shit.
We sprayed for Kate, but they keep coming back. Yeah, well, you know what, bitch? There's only one of me.
Oh, my.
A swarm is all.
I don't know if the world is ready for two of you.
Well, I think I'm a
let alone a swarm.
There's always two of me just hanging around. Anyway, I'll just go.
Okay, for $39, I guess I'll give it a try. See what happens. I think I stepped on these and broke the hinge that holds the ear on.
Your ear needs a hinge to hold onto your head?
Yeah.
And how did you step on it?
In the dark, in this studio, which is so full of stuff, I'm amazed I can get through it at all.
No, I meant your head. How did you step on your head?
Well, it takes some really flexible joints in order to do that.
I've never actually smoked a joint.
No big thing.
Well, I guess I could barbecue one.
Yep. Absolute amount.
And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. There are too many Elm Streets out there. Like, even without the movie, there's too many Elm Streets out there. Like, every city I've been to
Everybody's
in
got
New York
one.
seems to have at least 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's weird? Like, I've never seen an Elm Ave or an Elm Street, Elm Court, Elm Circle, Elm Boulevard. It's always Elm Street. Why?
Come to the UK, you'll see all of them.
All right. I mean, it's like I don't think I've ever seen anything other than Pine Street either. I think you have to get into other types of trees before you start seeing non-streets. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen an Oak Lane. Oh, and
Okay.
a Maple Lane as well. There's definitely a Maple Lane out there, which sounds like a comic book character, probably a plucky young reporter.
There's yeah, I mean, like I said, I could think of like a dozen off the top of my head roads in my area that are named after trees of a certain description, but Britain's a little bit different. So like I said, he's sort of like a lot of, in America. You got a lot of streets that are like numbered, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
hold on. It depends on whether or not you're in a big place. Like, you're not going to
Yeah.
find 1st or 2nd Avenue, 3rd Street in, say, Vermont, anywhere. But go to New
Okay.
York City or Seattle or whatever, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, even a dipshit place like Homestead had numbered streets, and you started at the river, and then you just worked your way up the hill.
Okay.
Even in the big city in Britain, you are not going to have streets that got numbers.
And then back in Cleveland, you had 2 sets of numbers, east of the Cuyahoga River and west of the Cuyahoga River.
Yes. Well, regardless, I'm just saying it's not common everywhere. There's a lot of places that just don't have enough streets to justify it. Although I have to say there are parts of like the Burlington area where I guess they started running out of names because half of the streets are named after women. It's like Barbara Terrace.
yeah, that's what
all
I
that.
think.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
You guys, you just named these after your daughters, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well,
So,
I don't give too much away about where exactly I live, but I'll just say that most of the roads in the estate I live in are named after kinds of strawberries.
Okay.
So yeah.
I don't think I've ever known of that one being done.
I don't think I've ever really thought about there being different kinds of strawberries.
I didn't
I mean,
even-
I know I've seen some, like there's those ones, they're not like the ones you buy in the store, they're like small and sort of tough, you know those ones?
Mm.
You find them in the wild?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, there's what I want. I want not the small, tough ones, but I want to see if I can't buy some strawberries this year and hang them outside in a container.
I mean, the small town I live in, when we first got a train station, which was on the outskirts, almost out of the way of the town, essentially. Then they built houses around that area. All of the roads around it kind of got railway kind of themes. They were either named after famous trains or famous like engineers of trains. You know, it was it's a bit weird like this.
Oh my.
I don't know. I do wonder, like, if I was in charge of a city, what would my naming convention protocol, whatever, be for streets? Because clearly I would have one, and clearly it would involve geekery. So, you know, like all the streets in this direction, like North and South streets will be Star Wars characters, East-West streets will be Babylon 5 characters, and, you know, maybe we'll name a building after some Star Trek shit, I don't know. But, yeah.
Well, how about naming streets after chemical elements? Could you just see Yttrium Avenue and, let's see, Polonium Way and, stuff like that?
No.
Oh, you're no fun.
All kinds of fun. I'm naming streets after Star Wars and Babylon 5 characters. Fun. What
I'll
do
have
you
to
want
look that
from
up,
me?
Diana. I'm sure that probably exists in the UK somewhere.
Well, there is actually a section of South Burlington, I think it is, might be Williston, not sure, where it's like sort of an industrial kind of area, and I don't mean like manufacturing. I mean more like, this is the place where the software company has its headquarters, kind of place. But it's not in the middle of anywhere. It's actually sort of like outside the suburbs in a weirdly still suburby looking area. But I don't know, something about it just reads corporate.
Okay.
And in that area, there's like A Street, B Street, C Street, D Street, that kind of thing.
Oh, sort of like DC. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't know about that.
Yeah, Washington, D.C. has streets like that. And out in this direction, there is actually an electric avenue for those of you.
Down to it?
Uh-huh.
Alrighty.
As well as a Dynamo Way. So every time the bus goes up that area, I'm thinking, Dynamo home, where's that dynamo coming from? You know that one.
No, I don't know that even a little bit.
There was this story about, I think, the funniest name of a road in the UK. It was obviously just some small little cul-de-sac or whatever, but it was called Bell End.
All right, I like it.
It was obviously named before that became a slang term.
Well, I did find in somewhere in Vermont, I forget exactly where, Lois Lane.
Oh yeah, okay,
So.
Okay, wait a minute. This is not working. I've got to get this done right.
What I'm looking for, maybe.
Oh my, oh my. Oh my. And then there's the other one that you didn't see quite as often as Lois, but there was Lana Lang.
Yeah, but Lang is not Lane. You're not going to find a street named after Lana Lang. I mean, maybe Lana Lang Lane.
Okay. Oh my. I have to wonder where they got the idea for that one. Was that after Miss Turner, or I don't know.
What?
Was there not a Lana Turner or something like that?
What? Oh, well, there was a Lana Turner, an actress Lana Turner.
Yeah, I wonder if that's where somebody got the idea for the name of Lana Lang, or if it was something else. I don't know.
I don't know where Lana Lang came in the Big Bang Pop.
Yeah, it's... Starà perché? Oh my, okay. Cherekiste? Yeah, we've got to... Starà perché? Well, I could imagine that in that neighborhood, you probably just named old cow paths, right? The way they did in Parma, Ohio. Yeah, that looks a lot like Parma. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, did something go wrong? Wait a minute. Let me look. Let me find out what's... Yeah, something's not right. Hang on, kids. Yeah.
All you have to type, they can hear you.
Oh, wait a minute. Now this is doing things again. Okay, is you saying something now?
I don't know. Am I saying something now?
Yeah, now my
anything.
My VU meter is doing things now. Why is this going on like that? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. It's probably a problem of some sort, and I'm sure I'm offending Jeff big time.
That's not
the worst British accent I've heard.
Well, I mean, one of these days I really need to actually nail down a real regional accent, because I'm sure every now and then I just like suddenly slip, like, oh yeah, you were doing a southern accent, now it's northern, now it's London, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm sure that happens.
No, I have no idea why this thing did what it did. It just decided it was going to do it, and then it decided it was going to come back.
I can help you with a London one, Kate. You sort of like, you got to just say it like this. The water in my Yorker don't taste like what it ought to.
What the hell?
Wow.
That's London. That's a London accent.
I think I understood that, but then again, I'm not sure.
Oh man, if you understood that, there's got to be
about
something.
The water in Mallorca?
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you, London's one of the easier ones to do. Don't even try to do like a Newcastle accent, you know.
But aren't there like a double wide buttload of accents in London alone?
Oh yeah, well the famous one is what they call the Cockney.
Yeah, right.
More, which is more, to be honest, it's more the east end of London, but it's famous rhyming slang and so on. But yeah, there are a couple of things, but yeah, there's a lot of different accents within England alone. I mean, you try doing a Newcastle one. That'd be a trip for you.
Well, and I also really only know that like the rhyming slang exists because I watched Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, when they talk about the apples and pears, they mean stairs. Yeah, I don't get rhyming slang at all.
Well, I mean, again, unless everyone knows the same rhymes, it's got to get confusing.
Yeah. But the thing is that they don't even go to the whole rhyme or whatever. Like, let's say apples and pears, stairs, okay? You know, you get to London and it says, oh, he's gone up the apples, you know. He won't even go to the rhyming bit, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Oh, Jesus, okay, yeah.
And given Jeff's lack of reaction, I don't know if he knows what that means.
haven't.
That's weird. Even I know what that
Well,
is.
it's from Star Trek. There's this planet that Picard ends up getting beamed down to, where like he and this alien have to like fight a monster together to prove their loyalty or whatever, you know. But the alien can only speak in like metaphors. He can only make references to the past that are like part of the shared cultural zeitgeist. So when you say Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra, everyone goes, "Oh yeah, that," you know. So they know what you're getting at by that, you know. It's like, yeah. I mean, what was the other one? Darmok, somebody, his arms, Temba, his arms wide, I think it is.
Something like that. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, you know, and it's like everyone knows what that means if they're in the in-group, but Picard had to figure it out, you know, and that's what the rhyming slang sounds like, is you know, okay, these people know what it means if they like have the context, but without it, anyone's going to be lost.
Oh my.
Well, so there's, like I said, you just go around the. I mean, I've got a little bit of a regional accent for, you know, the UK as well, you know.
A little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I don't know if it's different over there, but to us, yours is very distinctive.
Yeah, but it's very strange that most people think that I'm from the west of England because of my accent. I'm really not. I'm on the south coast. I'm born, raised there. I've got something that's called the Hampshire accent, which is almost a dying accent now.
Okay, here's a weird question. All right, because I know that sometimes it's spelled with a P and sometimes not. Hampshire. Now, I'm getting the impression ham is not for, like, pigs. It's more for, like, Hamlet, and then shire for Shire. So what we're talking about is a Hamlet Shire for Hampshire?
I think that's the origin of it. Yeah, I'd have to check, Kate, honestly.
Right. Well, I mean, because whether that's it or not, I have questions. Because how can it be a Hamlet and a Shire?
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, I'd have to, honestly, Kate, I'd have to check on the origin of that, to be honest.
Well, okay, but let's assume for a moment that I'm correct.
I think actually, if I'm going to have to double check this, but I think it meant Hamptonshire, and the big town on the south coast in like the Dark Ages was Hampton,
right.
which is now Southampton, which is where I live. So it was it was sort of named a lot because a lot of the counties are sort of named after towns or the big town or whatever.
Okay, but doesn't Tun mean town?
Yeah, it was.
So,
but it was really weird how
it would still be Hamtownshire.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was that seems to be a weird thing because but there are a lot of things where counties are named after towns or cities or whatever where they've been in, like Oxfordshire is a good example. Good example of that.
So wait a minute now, Oxford.
But the strange thing I find about my county is that it would be that if it was named after Hampton, which is now Southampton, it's very strange because the actual county of in this county. The actual capital city of the kingdom that was, because England was sort of 4 kingdoms at one time. It was East Anglia, Northumbria, Mercia, and Wessex. So we're part of what was the old kingdom of Wessex. The capital city was Winchester, which is about 7 or 8 miles from where I live. Yeah, so I would have thought. I'm a bit surprised that the county's not named after Winchester, honestly.
So I'm trying to remember what it was. There was, and for all I know, it's apocryphal, but there was something I saw where there was this place, and the natives there just called it the land. And then it gets conquered by some people, and so they take the native word for the land and add land onto it, so it's now like, oh yeah, we went to this place, we conquered it, now it's Bludja land, where Bludja meant land. And then it gets conquered again, and those people rename it, and so now it's Bludja land, and by the end of it, it's like all of the things that it got renamed to, it's land is the name of the place when you unpack the translation.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard that one.
I've heard that one or read it anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but it's a good story, whether it is or not.
Yeah, but the one I want to know, the one that was mentioned a little earlier, the Oxford, is that where you drove your cattle across the river? I'm being serious here.
I don't know. I don't know. It quite possibly could be, honestly. Because some of the sort of towns in England are named for things as sort of mundane as that, so it could very well be the
Cornwall comes to mind.
Yeah, Cornwall's a weird one, because Cornwall is for those that know the UK geography. Cornwall is a county at the very, very bottom southwest corner of England.
Yeah.
Right,
but it still has a lot. But Cornwall has a bit of Cornwall sort of stayed for quite a long time, shall we say, independent of England. It was one of those few places where the old, like the Celts, the Bretons, ended up after the sort of Saxons came into Britain. So Cornwall's got a very, there is a Cornish language.
And apparently
which is
there's
very
a lot of Cornish gay men.
Yeah, apparently, but
okay, joke failed. Never mind.
It was, it failed. Oh, that one's lost to me, Kate. I'm sorry.
What? Cornish game hen? Cornish gay men? No.
No.
It's a homophone.
And that is a whole thing in and of itself, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's one I definitely want to explain then. Killington.
No, that one I don't know.
There's a Killington in Vermont. I'm sure it's named for one in England, but I've started calling it Murderton or Murderington instead of Killington, you see.
Jetta Costa.
Because I don't know the origin of that name, but it's a little scary. I'm more okay with Huntington.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
But I seem to remember we had a conversation once before about all the places that end in sex, like Middlesex and Essex and all of those. I forget what it was, but like meant a crossing or something, I forget.
I think, like there was a kingdom called Wessex, which was the chief.
It's broken again. Hang on. Let's see where we are. Okay, settings. We're gonna go to speakers.
Well, okay, so this conversation is only the second instance where I've heard Wessex mentioned at all. The other time was in season 1 of Blackadder, where what's his face, the messenger guy comes in, he goes, my Lord Wessex is dead, or Your Majesty, Lord Wessex is dead. That's the only other time I've heard Wessex mentioned. I don't know. I did actually mean though Essex without a W.
Yeah, Essex is a county in England, as long as there's Sussex as well, which is actually one count. Well, it's East and West Sussex actually is 2 counties, but they're literally next
That's that's a strange one. You've got Sussex, you've got Wessex, you've got Essex, but no Norsex.
Well, in
No.
Vermont we have Essex and Middlesex, but I don't
No.
remember if we have any of the
But I
others.
can, again, I might be able to shed a little bit of light on that one north, because a lot of places more to the north of England, in particular, we got invaded. Let's just put it this way: we got invaded a lot of times by different people. Cause,
Yeah.
So some places will have sort of names that originate in sort of, say, Saxon tongue, and some places will have, we say, more Scandinavian. And the north was a lot of places in the north have more like Scandinavian kind of like there's a Saxon town, big city. It was a Roman town originally, but the Saxons called it Yepperwick. When the Vikings came in and took over, they renamed the town Jorvik, and it still has the name derived from that day, which is York.
Okay. You know, there's a new one now.
New? What? Where?
Well, there's a New York.
Daju Korostu. Yes,
It used to be was once New Amsterdam.
yes.
Why did they change it? Well, I mean, I
People
can't.
just
say.
liked it better that way.
There we go. I was hoping, because it started to sound like people didn't know those lyrics for some reason. I'm like, if people don't know those lyrics, there's something wrong. Someone did something wrong, or didn't do something they shoulda, to educate people on those lyrics.
Moo.
It's been a really long time since I've been to New York City. I'd like to do it again someday.
Yeah, the way I look at it, New York's not that bad a place to visit, but I would not want to live there.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think
I
my
mean,
only
maybe-
thing is like
maybe
the
I'd like
ability
to
to
go there
find
just-
a supermarket would be the problem. I wouldn't want to have to always go to like some corner shop where the selection is crap.
Okay.
Maybe I'd
okay.
like to go there one time just to say I've been there, but I don't know that I'd necessarily, apart from that, I've got any real desire.
I've been there quite a few
New
times.
York.
I mean, it's a city. What do you want? It's a city.
Mm.
You know.
It's more like, to me, it's almost like more like somewhere to go just to say you've been there.
Yeah.
I
It is a bit of a bucket list city.
I did see a game at Old Yankee Stadium. That was kind of nice. But
I hope the Yankees lost, by the way.
say again, huh?
I hope the Yankees lost.
What is baseball going on now?
I think he's making
No, when
a
you
joke.
went there, I hope the
Yanks,
Yankees. No.
No, they win.
No.
But you're
Okay, no,
not making a Yanks versus Brits joke?
No, I'm making the fact that when I decided to pick a baseball team or whatever for American baseball, I picked the Red Sox. So fuck you.
Oh my!
I never liked the Red Sox, mostly, well, partly because I thought their logo looked really weird, but partly because why the hell did you name yourselves after footwear? It makes no sense, and I
There
don't
you go.
support it.
Now, as a matter of fact, the game I saw was the Red Sox visiting the Yankees, and the Yankees won. And it was just amazing, though, how loud it got. Just the way Old Yankee Stadium was built. When these people started cheering, it just blew your ears out.
I don't even know. To be honest, I don't even know why I picked the Red Sox as a baseball team to follow, because especially when I started learning a bit more of their history, and I was like, why did I pick these guys? This is like the one club that was like had the most institutionalized racism for so many years, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it was more. It was more the whole thing that I didn't want to pick a team that won every year, kind of thing. When I got into baseball, because there's the whole thing they hadn't won in 80-odd years. So I thought, okay, I'll pick the Red Sox as my team, and then they ended up and fucking won. They actually ended up winning the World Series like a year afterwards.
Well, that was.
I like the Mets because their colors are cool. I like the blue, and I like orange on blue. So I chose the Mets as the team to support for no reason other than just art. That's it, just art. It's the way I pick who's going to win the Super Bowl every year too. You know that.
Yeah.
I got a friend actually.
Really? That's great.
Believe it or not, but yeah, believe it or not, somebody likes me. I've got like a long distance friend who I communicate with online. But he's a massive Mets fan. He's even got like one of the old building blocks in the new stadium or whatever. Is like got his name engraved on it or something. But
oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, because we've always said this thing. If we ever meet up in person, it's like he comes to England, I'm going to take him to a soccer match or whatever, and if I end up going over there, he's going to take me to a Mets game.
Okay.
I don't know. Soccer is one of those games that's just, I don't know. It seems really, really boring until it's very exciting for a couple of minutes, and then really, really boring again.
Yeah.
That when a goal gets scored, it often seems like it came out of nowhere.
What I really like are the Mexican announcers, you know.
Oh yeah, the Brazilian ones are the best one. They do the goal.
Daí o gosto.
I don't know. It's a weird sport, like watching it, like as a spectator sport. Especially in Seattle, I got taken to a couple of Sounders games by some well-meaning but misguided friends, and I wanted to spend time with my friends. Okay, I figured, what the hell, I'll go. They have an extra ticket. It costs nobody anything. I'll just hang out with my friends. Everyone stood through the whole game. You couldn't even do the wave because everyone was standing the whole time. And I'm like, could we sit on our asses and only get up when
beauty of it, though.
You know, like if someone scores something or there's a penalty or something, then we can stand up. But you know, can we just pop a squat until that happens?
Gesto, vale que sí.
That's kind of the beauty of it, though, in a certain way.
But unless everyone's sitting, how do you?
Look, I mean, I've been to cricket games. You want a bit of a weird cultural experience. Yeah.
Yeah, well, cricket. I don't understand cricket. You got to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket.
Yeah.
Which is a line from a movie no one else knows.
Right.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay, maybe one of us knows it. Good.
Shut up, Oleki. But you got over there. Earbud warning. Okay.
I'll actually say that. I went to there's a cricket stadium a mile from my house, the Hampshire Cricket Stadium, and I went there when India were touring England, and they went and played a few county clubs before they played the national team. They had India versus Hampshire for a day there, and it was a great atmosphere, and it was like 9/10 of the crowd there were the Indian community that came out, and there was just a real party atmosphere about the whole thing. And it was like, I obviously got a feeling that nobody was really watching the cricket and everyone was just partaking in this weird party atmosphere that was going on around the ground. It was really weird.
I know the energy you're talking about. I'm trying to think of the situation I was in when it happened, but I know exactly what you mean. Where like the event is secondary.
Anyone in that crowd, I don't think anyone in the ground was actually paying attention to the cricket.
All right. You know, like I don't get, like, there are a lot of sports where you can just sort of pick it up by osmosis, but cricket seems wildly arcane.
Cricket's, I mean, I'll say that the best, yeah, I enjoy what's called 2020 cricket, which is this
Cricket played during
a
a
limit. Basically, it's a limit. You get a limited amount of balls or whatever, and basically it's fast hit and hope action kind of cricket. I can't watch a test match and the whole idea of a 5 days and it ends in a draw. I can't deal with that.
I don't know what any of this means. See, that's my point. Is that cricket is very arcane. It has all of these like you can't just watch a cricket game and go, okay, I get what's going on, the way you could with, say, like the NFL or Major League Baseball or something.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. I mean, hell, soccer is easier to figure out than cricket.
Oh yeah, cricket is a lot like baseball. It's similar, but I said limited over cricket, especially 20 over cricket, which is basically just like that's more. It's more fast paced, and it's anyone can get into that, and it's.
Yes, but understanding it is my point. It
Yeah.
looks sort of like baseball, but what the hell are they doing? Why are there those things balanced on those other things for some reason?
Well,
And are
the
there
wicket.
bases? I don't know.
Nope.
It's just I don't understand the game. It looks too much like
Well, I mean,
baseball to
it's
figure out.
But it's easy. But you've got to bear it. It's easier for Brits to figure out baseball because we play a game called rounders, which is basically what at school, which is basically what baseball became. What's the origin? It's the origin of baseball. Is a game called rounders.
Isn't there a movie called that too?
I have no idea.
I think it's about gambling. It's probably one of those Guy Ritchie movies.
Mm.
I don't know. But it's weird how there are directors out there who just seem to keep making the same movies over and over.
Moo.
I mean, it's like M. Night Shyamalan, Tarantino. A lot of those people from that era just seem to basically like, oh, well, we know there's going to be a twist ending, or oh, we know someone's going to get very, very killed. That kind of, it's like, yeah, you've changed the scenery and the actors, but really, I'm just watching Pulp Fiction again.
Moo.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Moo.
Yeah.
There's yet another film I haven't seen.
What, Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to watch that at least once, Diana.
I mean, I've seen the apartment scene. There was a clip made of it, but
Well, everybody's seen that.
Yeah.
Everyone did it.
And
Say
hell,
what?
it's like
You know,
it's the
everyone
very
did
beginning
that.
of the movie anyway. So,
Yeah.
but no, it's
I
a
think
good
it's one
watch.
of those movies. Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's like one of my favourite films, but I think it's one of those films that is worth watching at least once.
Oh, jeepers, I have to feed the cats. It's like a half hour past feeding time. I'll be right back.
I'm amazed that they haven't shredded you. I don't know. Some people forget to feed their kittinesses. Oh my, oh my.
I did post. I did a little silly joke or whatever on the social medias yesterday that it's, recent studies have shown that atheists are more likely to own cats than Christians.
Strangely enough, I can actually see a little bit of a reasoning behind that. Yeah.
Well, because owning Christians isn't legal.
I don't think I'd want to own a Christian anyway. No, they're too much trouble to maintain.
Yeah.
you have to keep them in a kennel and away from everybody else. You know how that goes and everything.
There's actually a. I don't know if you've seen the TV series Vikings at all, Diana, but there was actually a line in that series of one Vikings asked, "Why is Ragnar angry with you?" And he says, "Because I killed his pet Christian."
Tayo Korostu. Oh my. I don't know. Speaking of that sort of stuff, was it yesterday or the day before, S.J. Thomason was going on and on again about how she heard the voice of God. It's like, jeez, man.
Oh. I noticed she's protected her tweets again recently because she got back on Twitter and then said something really. I can't figure her out. I really can't, because there's times I listen to her and she sounds like she can be quite reasonable, and then she just, and you're like, okay, maybe she's not so bad, and then she just says something that is so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, B says she makes me nuts. Yeah, absolutely. She's craziness. For some reason, she seems to like me. I don't know why. I'm trying really hard to get her to not like me, but it's not working.
That was good. I was something I saw her on a couple of months ago. I'm trying to remember what it was, but might have been non sequitur when they had her on. I can't remember.
Oh Lord!
I saw something with her. And
I don't know. That's something.
Again, was doing the whole equating atheism with communism and the whole. And I was just listening to her and like, you've got so much wrong here that you know.
What I cannot take would be SJ and McRae in the same room, you know.
But I don't know. I got sidetracked in real life or whatever. Gets in the way of doing certain things. But
it would be very
watching. So I was like,
it would be very difficult to debate William.
What are you talking about?
Most of my arguments would boil down to what is wrong with you. Like, it would be hard not to shout that every time.
Mm-hmm. It's just nuts. Absolutely craziness.
Yeah, she's just. I don't get her, because it's like there's times I listen to her and I think maybe she's quite actually somewhat reasonable, and then she just says something and then as soon as you start thinking that, she just says something that's so fucking insane.
I have to wonder if some of that isn't attention seeking, but I don't know.
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I think she's clueless rather than conniving. I mean, like there are some of the things that I've heard her say that are just they're really out there, but they're also standard Christian fare. So it's not like she's making up something grandiose to get attention. She's saying the same things every other Christian said, just louder and more often.
It just gets the one that gets me is when she goes on about having heard the voice of God, and it's a very soothing masculine voice and all this other shit. And
so James Earl Jones then, but not when he's being Darth Vader.
Yeah, pretty much. And
a little more Mufasa than
let's be honest. Let's be honest. If God is real, if hypothetically God is real and is male and has a masculine voice, it is either going to be James Earl Jones or Morgan Freeman, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, wait a minute. As long as it's warm and soothing, sure. But if it's more like a vengeful God, I'm picturing Samuel L. Jackson. Or James Earl Jones.
Well, James Earl Jones could do both. But
well, you know what? I would go with George Burns.
He's dead already, and we know you're making a reference to those movies he was in.
Well, not necessarily making the reference, but I mean just that gravelly The gravelly old man. Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
I would go with Samuel L. Jackson though, just because I like the thought of a vengeful God saying motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a reference. I mean, geez, man.
In Snakes on a Plane, where he says, like, I'm sick and tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. But when they edited it for television, it came out like, I'm sick and tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane, which makes no sense.
That's the
Working too.
Just leave it all in there. What the hell?
Huh?
Just leave it all in there. You know, none of this overdubbing shit.
Yeah, well, some people are so fucking precious about it. I mean, like, seriously, the way people police your language, it gets so... And it doesn't even matter which side is doing it, left or right. They're going to make you hate them for it.
Oh, you already do, but oh my.
I don't know. It's so frustrating sometimes. Like, I don't know if you saw this thing Telltale put on Twitter. It was something like I got this thing with like an email about women, but it was spelled W-O.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, oh, it's women spelled with a Y, but with enough XP to level up. But I mean, that's the kind of thing where it's like the people who come up with this stuff are usually solving a problem that's not even there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I sincerely don't believe that changing the name or the spelling of women is going to get women more respect. I don't believe that for a second.
Oh, right, no, absolutely.
No, I agree with you on that.
What you got over here?
Here it is.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, that was the first thing that popped into my head, but it just seems like more of that, like, first world white guilt kind of shit coming out. Where like, there's these people who had nothing to do with the oppression who are overcorrecting because of their ancestors.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm all for equality and stuff, but this sort of sins of the father thing where I have to atone for something that someone who wasn't me did to other people because of inherent traits about themselves, and I have to atone for it because of inherent traits about myself. It's sins of the father shit that I don't agree with.
Which, let's be honest, bear in mind I'm British, I'd be seriously fucked if I had to, like, apologize for every fucking thing my country has done over the centuries,
And I mean, like, try to be nice to people, sure, but don't act like somehow you're guilty of shit you didn't do.
Yeah.
Like, I want to build a better world. I don't necessarily want to build a world where people are constantly feeling guilt over things that aren't in any way their fault. I don't feel like anyone should feel that. Working forward and trying to make it better, yes, but unless you were cracking the whip and owned the slaves, you were not guilty of that shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that as well. I don't get that at all.
I don't know. It's like I don't fit in the left or the right in this country because all of them go to places I can't support. All of them.
I mean, I'm generally speaking, politically, I have been very, very much on the left most of my life, and even to the far left at times in my life. But there's times where I just get so, should I just say, frustrated with my own side at times.
Yeah.
No.
Well, there's no talking to some of those people.
Yeah.
Shasta.
I mean,
and the sheer number of friends I've lost simply due to purity checks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I again, one of the, you know, the whole Monty Python film, The Life of Brian.
Right.
And I think one of the best sort of whole jokes in that movie that a lot of people don't pick on is the whole nature of the People's Front of Judea. Because I have come across political groups on the left that are that fucking batshit insane.
Oh yeah.
And the whole way of the Judean People's Front. No, fuck off. We're the People's Front of Judea. We won't talk to the Judean People's Front. You know, it's like I've seen that so often. It's like, yeah, you're kind of both on the same sides about 90% of the stuff, things, and you just can't even meet halfway on the 10% you disagree on, and like spend more time attacking each other than you do attacking the right. Yeah, I have seen that shit.
Well, I've seen these intense, deeply intense rivalries between, like, you know, this feminist group and that feminist group, because one of them is willing to work with male allies and one of them sees all men as evil, kind of thing. And like that disagreement tears all of them down, you know. And it's just like, guys, really, you know, or it's like trying to deal with TERFs when, you know, you're like hanging out with lesbians and queers and all this stuff, and they're like, yeah, but not trans people, and I'm like, but I'm not scared of them in the shower. Why are you?
I mean, this is the term I use for it, and I have used this to, should we say, certain people on the online atheist community I know who swing this way, and I use this term very deliberately, it's sectarianism.
Sure.
It's what it is. You know, that's what it is.
Well, but I mean, a lot of it, and this is the worst part, is a lot of it is so based in their ideology, where they think not only are they right, but they have to fight for what they believe they're right about. Right, and so they look at those other groups and they go, yeah, okay, we're activists, we're and we're on the same side, but we're the ones doing it right.
Yeah, I mean, I had this whole. I used to get very frustrated with the left in Britain. Number of things, because it was like every time we were building something good, it was just this stupid sectarianism would come into it at times when we didn't need it. So, like, we had a big problem about 10 years ago called the English Defence League. This was a far right group who were getting very big and were becoming a real. I mean, these were racists who were becoming a real problem, and we're trying to mobilise against them. And I had people saying, "Well, I'm not going to march against the English Defence People League if there's people from the Labour Party involved." I'm like, why? Oh, look, they're bringing hundreds of people out on the streets. We need to bring thousands of people out on the streets. We've got to work, you got to work with people who might have different views than you. Yeah, come on.
Now, okay, clear something up for me, because I've wondered this for a little while. I know how it is in the United States, but in Britain, does being a skinhead automatically mean you're like a white supremacist or a Nazi or something?
It never used to. Unfortunately, I feel like it's kind of gone that way.
Okay, I just wanted to see if there was a cultural difference between us, because, like, I've seen some.
Oh no, yeah.
Well, I mean, because I've heard
culture
like
came
old
from Britain.
British punk that would talk about being a skinhead, and I was like, this is just weird. But if it didn't mean like neo-Nazi the way it does here, then I guess it's okay. ish.
No,
Is it?
skinhead culture kind of came from Britain. It's. I wish I had. Uh, he's off. He's kind of like gone off the internet for a while. Ed, grumpy old dude. He kind of knows a lot about the history of skinhead. History of that whole culture, and he's probably the guy to ask. But yeah, I mean,
Diana, are you reading the chat?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wondered if that was
but
it.
no, I mean it was. It was the sort of thing that, I mean, the original group was something called the Chelsea Skinheads, who I think were kind of football violence related to a degree as well.
But it
But
didn't
they
have
certainly
that
weren't.
political- Did it have the political
No.
edge to it yet?
No, I mean, one of the early sort of people in the whole skinhead movement, one of the leaders, was a guy called Cass Pennant, who was a black man, who was a black guy, and it didn't have that edge, and it was probably more towards the late 70s, early 80s that it seemed to swing more and more towards this kind of far right, white nationalist, neo-Nazi kind of.
Well, thanks for
But-
clearing that
but-
up for me, though, because that's been
but I-
bugging me. I thought there was a cultural difference there, but I wasn't sure. So
There was a band in the 1980s called Redskins, which I know now. Okay, let's explain the context, because I know in America that's very much a
yeah,
racial slur, and I get that. But the bands called themselves that because they were skinheads, but red meaning basically communist kind of red.
I see.
That was the
well,
what they
I'll
were trying
tell
to
you
get
this
at.
much: red skin is only offensive if there's no space between red and skin.
Yeah.
Like that's the slur, is when it's all one word.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was all one. I don't think it was, but don't quote me on that. I'd have to double check that. But they were kind of they were like this last ditch attempt to try and reclaim skinhead culture from the right in Britain. I mean, noble effort. Unfortunately, they failed. But
So that is something I've wondered about for a while, because I'd really gotten the impression that being a skinhead was more like, you say, soccer hooligan kind of thing, rather than political the way it is here.
yeah.
Also, I mean,
But
it's
the whole-
weird to
but the
me
soccer
when
hooliganism-
something that
soccer
people
hooliganism is not
do,
getting
like, ordinarily gets co-opted by some subgroup, and now it's kind of fraught to do it. Like, I string my shoelaces in a funky way where they don't, like, do that sort of X-shaped crisscross, but rather it looks like there's just one, like strand, whatever, going across, like just directly. It's funky. I like the way it looks. It looks almost like high tech, like Marty McFly's shoes in Back to the Future Part 2, right? But I'm told that it might also mean something, that it might have some connotation. I'm like, damn it. You know, hell, there was a live stream I was in where I was just making reference to a Patton Oswalt routine with this like silly screen name I had chosen, where he was talking about these kids he saw playing, and like they were throwing basically like spears at each other, these sticks at each other, and just sort of like dodging and ducking and having a fun time with it. And then there was like this little altercation, and this girl picks up a stick and just nails the other kid with it right in the small of the back. And Patton started referring to her as Thundra the Spear Mistress, which I thought was entertaining, until someone told me that Spear Mistress is also a term for pre-op male, like trans woman.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, okay, now that's gotten co-opted. CRT has gotten co-opted. It used to mean cathode ray tube. You know, it gets to a point where you're like, am I about to commit some social or political faux pas simply because something that, like bald guys like to shave their heads just because it's better than, looking bald, although they still look bald. But you know what I mean? It's better than having that fringe around your head. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I mean, but now
I only have long hair.
doesn't it? It seems a little white supremacist-y if he does it, doesn't it?
It does.
No.
It's like, I mean, look at my avatar. It's like the makeup I'm wearing, that which is sort of like a black metal homage, and yeah, that's almost sort of like been taken up. But I wouldn't say it's been entirely, but there's definitely a subculture of like far right people within that.
If you did that in the United States, you'd be taken for goth and nothing else.
Yeah, they yeah. It's not. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that it's a goth thing. It's not at all. The way I've done that, it's not.
And it might be that the rest of the outfit would help sell whatever it is you're talking about.
Yeah.
But just from the face, my first thought is goth.
Yeah.
So.
Probably didn't help in that picture that I dyed
white.
my hair jet black when I did that picture taken, so it does look a bit more goth.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny. Like, I think I've mentioned it before. I got into these weird discussions with some of my friends who are goths, where I tried to explain to them, look, I was never really goth. I just got shoved into the community by this girl I was crushing on. And they're like, well, but you're still goth. And I'm like, but all I did was wear black. You should hear the music I listen to. And they're like, yeah, well, you should hear the music we listen to. You're still goth. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, what does it take to not be goth? To just have never shown up at the club? Is that it?
I just like to, I just generally, if I'm around goths or whatever, just like to somehow throw the word in that some of them might be emos and some of them might be goths. And then go back and watch the carnage ensue.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's like I guess being goth is like herpes. Once you get any of it on you, you're well, it's there for life, I guess.
I guess so.
I mean, I don't know. That was the way my goth friends seem to be putting it. Is once you're goth, you can't ever be anything. Well, you can be other things too, but you can never be ungothed.
Yeah, I always there was this goth kids in South Park. There was one thing that whatever that I just made me laugh because I just actually know some goths who are a bit like this, and it just kind of talking about how they were like, we know, they're miserable, whatever. And there was Kyle saying, "So what are you got to be miserable about? You could be a starving child in Africa. What are you got to be miserable about?" And they're like, "Africa, a bunch of conformists." And they're like, and I laugh because I just thought I know some people who are kind of like that.
Well, okay, you've seen the IT crowd, right? Okay, Richmond.
Yeah.
I've known like my fair share of Richmonds, believe me. So, yeah. All is strange and vague. Are we dead, or is this Ohio?
Moo.
I don't know. But, yeah. I probably shouldn't, but I want to get a pizza tonight. I've been sort of binging on those like, supermarket freezer pizza deals.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And there was a really good-looking thin crust Supreme that did not have anything on it I wouldn't eat. I mean, I don't normally get onions on pizza, but I do like onions. But no mushrooms or the Supreme pizza. It was like 2 different kinds of peppers, a whole bunch of meat I like, no sardines or fucking anchovies or whatever.
Oh.
And like a few other things. And I was like, I like all of this. I should get this. But I had like a triple meat thing yesterday. I should probably not have 2 pizzas in a row.
Oh, wait.
And don't get me wrong, it wasn't like a whole pizza in one sitting. It was, I made a pizza in the morning and then made it last the whole day.
Okay, that works. Yeah.
You know, I've never been one to turn down cold pizza unless it's on that fluffy ass crust that stays moist. You know what I'm talking about? Where even like a day later, if you've put it in the fridge, doesn't matter, it's still soggy.
Okay, yeah, I think I know the one.
I
Yeah.
hate that stuff. That's why I like thin crust, is because it's never like it's never soggy. I hate soggy pizza crust.
It reminds me of a song I rather like called Soggy Pretzels.
You know, that sounds like a really horrible country singer.
As a matter of fact,
Like the sort that plays in a jug band with a banjo.
as a matter of fact, it was done as one of those, horribly sickening country songs. Crying in your pretzels, crying in your beer.
No, but I mean, like soggy pretzels has that same sort of energy as Utah Phillips. You know what I mean?
There you go. Tayo Gorostu.
You know, it's just, it has that same ring to it. It has that ineffable something that says this is a jug band dude with a banjo.
A moo. Moo, 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 moo.
Like hillbilly. That's what I'm looking for. That's the
Yeah,
word,
there you
hillbilly.
go. There you go. Boofoo and Beefy. And Fifi and Fufu, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I never know what I'm talking about. Uh-oh, what blew up?
Well, I had a shot of Queen Redshift rendering, but now it's not. I'm wondering what the fuck.
Did it go foo-foo?
I think it went tits up is what it did.
Oops.
And we're hearing a lot of thunkety thunk. Is that you, Jeff?
That's me, sorry, I was just moving about.
Nesta Katayuki.
And you know, that's another one that just doesn't make sense to me. Moving about. Like, moving around, I get. But moving about, I mean, about is usually, this is about that. The narrative. You're describing the narrative when you say about. You know?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, out and about.
Yeah,
You use
okay.
that, right?
Well, yeah, but it still gives me the same Wiggins. I'm like, why would we say about? Like, instead of out and around, makes sense to
Just
me.
be thankful I'm not a Canadian and didn't say a boot.
Yeah.
Dola
I
Sakeri.
don't know. I mean, like, I like a lot of Canada. Except for the weather. The weather can go, like, slurp my butt. But other than that... Oh, well, and, Quebec.
Moo.
But I do like Vancouver. If I had to move to Canada, I would definitely choose Vancouver.
There was I can't remember where I saw it. There was actually some guy on TikTok and was doing this thing because he responded to some article that says, well, turns out apparently Canada is the best place in the world to live, and then he cuts to the next scene where he's out in the snow and literally there's icicles hanging off his beard, and like saying, I don't know who the fuck come up with that article, but
Okay, I found out about something a little while ago that I didn't know existed that kind of made me go, where it was like the beard and hair freezing competition. It was basically like one of those polar bear clubs where people dive in to like freezing ass water, and then they like shape and mold their hair and let it freeze in funky positions. Like, and people win prizes for doing this. And I'm like, you people are insane.
Okay.
Ah, well.
Yeah, I do not want to freeze my hair. I'll say that.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be in an environment where freezing my hair is possible. Like, seriously, if all my friends said, okay, come to the hair freezing party, I'd be like, okay, I'll be over here making the hot chocolate. Yeah. Well, hosers, because we'd be in Canada.
Okay.
Although
Yeah.
they do that kind of shit in Vermont, too. I mean, there's plenty of polar bear clubs here in Vermont. I don't deal well with cold, so no thanks.
I deal better with cold than I do with hot, honestly, but
I don't.
No.
Remedied. Cold really can't.
no, my experience is that cold, you can always find a way of warming yourself up. Hot, you can just cool yourself down when you need to.
Well, I mean, I find that when I'm cold, I often don't have a way to warm myself up because I've left home and I'm out and about. You know, like I don't have anywhere to go to warm up until I get to my destination kind of thing. So I'm gonna say no to this. But when it's too hot, I can always fan myself.
I work outdoors.
Go to
I can
a store where
test
they have
quite
the
good,
AC on. There's so many ways to relieve being too hot if you're not actually on fire. But with cold, and cold just plain hurts. Hot makes me uncomfortable, but cold hurts.
Yeah, it does. It very much does, and that is not good.
Totally different
Oh,
experience.
made you torture me.
I think you and I have different experiences. Then again, obviously, I think
Whoa.
you guys have like different extremes of like hot and cold as well. So
Okay. I'm starting to sound more and more like I'm completely fucking broken, but my veins are very tiny, and I don't heat myself, never have. And so my experience of cold is absolute misery. And coupled with the neurodivergent thing, which means that physical sensations are also magnified. So
yeah, okay.
I don't like cold. I mean, even if I move back to Vermont at some point, I'm gonna have an escape hatch for the winter.
Yeah, I mean, I work outdoors and so on. I've generally found that I can get warm even working outdoors, even when it's freezing cold. But trying to cool down and when it's really hot, I find it very difficult. But I know people have different experiences, I suppose.
Well, I don't know. I stand by what I said about my veins, though. They're very tiny. You should see the stabby people at the doctor's office. Don't you dare say phlebotomist, Diana. When they're trying to dig around in my Krell for a vein and they can't fucking find one. And I keep telling them, do one from the back of my hand. You can see those veins. And, you know, some of them are like, yep, gotcha. But some of them are like, nah, I can do this. And I'm like, dude, I'm not your pincushion. Take it from the hand.
Yeah, I've had... I'm very used to having needles stuck in me right now, and
I spend a lot of my time with a unit of blood outside of my body, and I'll tell you, that'll chill you down really quickly.
Well, I always say it's not a good sign when there's dartboards in the world that have had more needles and less needles in my skin. You know, it's not a good.
And let's put it this way: it doesn't matter which part of my body my temperature is taken from, and they never give it back. I will always be about a degree low.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like seriously, I'm usually down in the 97.4-ish range.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean I don't know what the hell that's about. I get, man, it's so weird. Like, you remember I used to bitch about those people who would have every syndrome under the world, and the more I talk to my doctors, the more syndromes they fucking give me, and I am unhappy about it because it makes me look like a goddamn hypocrite.
There you go.
I'm like, dude, could you stop finding things wrong with me? I'm hating this. My future looks very bleak.
Oh my, yeah, you're gonna be one of those old people talking about all the shit that's wrong with you. Oh, wait a minute, you already are.
No, I'm not, because my brain seems to be the thing that's going fastest. So I'll be one of those ones sitting in the corner thinking it's 1985 still.
Okay then.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm gonna have to jump off, guys.
That'll go send me mercado.
Well, it is 6 p.m. I might want dinner soon, although I did have an apple before the show started, so I can go a while.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah. No.
Okay, that's
Well,
it. I'm gonna have to reboot this stupid computer.
Is
this
it broken?
Not this one, the render farm machine.
Todo coseni.
Well, thanks for having me on, Diana. And
Yeah.
I've got to say, and I have got to say this. Of all the live streams I've ever been on, Diana, this has been by far the most recent.
I knew
Okay.
that was coming.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming. But I have to say, of all the live streams I've been on, this is definitely one of them.
This is one of them, yeah.
Now.
Yep, absolutely. Oh my, I'll tell you. I gotta think. I already had some halupki earlier today, but do I want more?
Have a chalupa to go with your halupi.
Okay, that would be good. Yeah, that would
I
work.
don't actually know what a chalupa is, which is kind of sad given how close I live to Mexico, but there's a lot of Mexican food I just plain haven't tried, and I really should. Like seriously, I really should.
You know what I'm doing, right?
Wait, I must make
You're
a move.
looking up chalupa. I like burritos.
I'll see you guys later.
Oh,
okay?
take care, honey.
Have fun.
Yeah,
So you-
Burned alive.
You like little donkeys, huh?
I said burrito, not barrette. No,
Oh.
I don't like little the wrappy thing. I like those. They're very tasty. Especially, I've told you about the Diablo burrito, the one that's like touching your tongue to a belt sander. I
Ah,
like that.
yeah, there you go, there you go.
Yeah, it's so good. It's one of those ones where, like, it's hot enough that you're sweating after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are good. Yeah, that kind of stuff is really good. Okay, what do we got?
One of these days, I really should try a churro.
I don't know this one.
I believe it's actually dessert. I think it's a pastry, and I think it's crunchier than it looks in photos. But don't quote me.
Type of fried dough from Spanish and Portuguese cuisine. They're also found in Latin American cuisine and the cuisine of the Philippines and in other areas that have received immigration from Spanish and Portuguese-speaking countries, especially in the southwestern United States and France. Okay, so I know all about it, but I don't know what it is!
It's fried dough. They said.
I mean, but what do they do to it besides fry it?
Well, look up a picture.
Yeah, it looks kind of like French fries.
Well, apparently, I got the impression it's crunchy, but if it's not, I mean, because I do love fried dough. We've had that conversation before.
Yes, we have. Mm-hmm.
And oh, it would be great, like, if I go to Vermont at some point, it'd be great to go during the Champlain Valley Fair, because it's the only place I know, well, the 4th of July maybe, but it's the only place and time I know to get fried dough, ever, anywhere. So, I really should go to the Champlain Valley Fair. Seems a silly reason to pay admission price, but still. I remember going to the Champlain Valley Fair with my friends on Bracelet Day. Everyone went on Bracelet because, like, ordinarily the rides would be like, oh, you need this many tickets, etc., etc. But on Bracelet Day, you buy the bracelet for like $25 or something, but this was the 80s, so it's probably $80 now.
Yeah.
And if you're wearing the bracelet, you can just go on any ride all goddamn day.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing that for a good long time with the place out here, the amusement park that's down the road from where I am, has been doing that for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, and a few more years too. And I don't know, maybe I'll go there this summer just to get out of the house and go somewhere and do something. It's unfortunate that I can't go very far from home because I need to be able to bleed into a machine. But
I have to admit, the biggest barrier to travel that I have is the cats.
Meow.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't want to leave them alone for several months if I go away, but
Right.
where could I bring them? I know there's, like, pet-friendly hotels. I've stayed in one before. But I mean, it's a logistical problem that would need solving.
I got really lucky when I went to Illinois because both places I stayed in were pet friendly, and Sylvia traveled very, very well.
Hmm.
I've heard people complain about, traveling with kitties, and it's all wow, 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 wow. Not this one. This one
That's what
was
it's like with Columbia, but Xander seems better.
okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Um. Yeah. I don't know. Like, Columbia definitely does not like change very much, even temporary change. Like, if you take her somewhere, she hates every last bit of it. Like, seriously, unless she's in the backpack, the one, the transparent backpack.
oh yeah,
If she
yeah.
realizes that we're not headed to the vet, she's actually pretty okay with it and regards it more or less as just her due, as Empress.
Okay then.
That
Yeah.
the Empress has a chariot.
Mm-hmm.
Xander, on the other hand, is a little more like someone who kind of accidentally found himself on an undersea voyage and really wants out. But at the same time is fascinated by everything around him.
Okay.
So he's in more of a Disney movie really than Columbia is.
The Undersea Voyage or Jacques Cousteau. I don't know.
Nothing like that at all. More like Disney's Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Well, it's a movie for which I made a video game and which got me my first IMDb credit.
Oh, well.
Well, that was the first video game I ever, I won't say made, worked on. I was a cutscene scripter. Anytime there was some cinematic thing happening, I was the one who made the characters go to this place and that place in that amount of time. I was the one who positioned the camera, timed the dialogue, etc., etc. That was my job, and I was the only one doing it on that game. Like, they had lost the employee who was doing it, so it got to be my job just by default.
Okay then. Okay.
And I mean, it was a stepping stone to becoming a level designer. So yeah, Atlantis: The Lost Empire is going to be my go-to if we're talking about undersea adventures.
Daju conozco.
And even if it wasn't, it's going to involve a hell of a lot more Never Never Land than it is the actual ocean. A lot more Clash of the Titans than it will the regular ocean. If I tell the story of an undersea voyage, it's going to be a magical journey that involves all kinds of just swashbuckling adventure that's basically like a fairy tale on steroids. And
Alrighty then.
his imagination is so much better than the real world and always will be, that's why.
No, estará que de Honda.
At least in imagination, sometimes the good guys win.
Well, Mage, you say I just need to make extra plans to bleed into a machine, but there's the hard part, it's number one, getting to a place that'll, where I can bleed into a machine, and number two, that takes about half of your time when you're out. Like, for example, if they do anything in July in Kentucky, and I decide I want to go, I'm just going to have to skip a day of dialysis, because the whole dialysis experience, if you want to call it that, will take up all of the time spent on the green doing the protest.
Well, don't you have days off?
I do this every other day. So
what if the day that you were at whatever event it is coincided with your day off?
It doesn't.
Well, how do you know? You said if they do something in Kentucky. If.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do anything because of, the plague still.
Right,
because if they are...
You can't say that the day doesn't coincide, though, can you?
Saturday coincides with dialysis. Because that's when it will be, if it's done.
You're sure of that part?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that was the advertisement they put out for this year.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're going to hold to it, if they're going to do it, or if they're not going to do it, or whatever. It's always on a Saturday.
I think I'm starting to understand why it is that people who use marijuana are less likely to get COVID. because this stuff makes you snot up like a son of a bitch.
Okay.
Well, no, seriously, your sinuses kind of go bonkaroo when you're on weed, and like you need a lot of liquid to stay hydrated and all of that, you know. So I'm wondering if maybe it's just your sinuses going nuts that makes it like, oh yeah, well we're catching anything that gets in here.
I never noticed that back in the day, but then again, the strains that are out now are not the strains of which I was partaking 40 years ago. Yeah.
And it might make a difference that I'm vaping.
Okay, okay.
You know, that could definitely be a factor.
Shalakatipara.
Yeah. So, you know, well, they did say that, though, in the pandemic. They're like, yeah, I mean, I forget what it was, and this is going to kind of negate the, gosh, I've got every syndrome thing, but there was something where they said, okay, if you're, if you're, I think it was ADHD, or if you're left-handed or something, you're more immune, and if you use weed, you're more immune. And I'm like, shit, I've got all of these immunities, like natural immunities, and I'm vaccinated, and I'm boosted, and I use weed. I'm not getting COVID. That's just not going to happen.
There you go.
You know, like, even if I do encounter it, my body will go intruder, and take care of it. You know?
Danger, Will Robinson, danger! Anyway.
Now, mind you, a lot of this is based on hearsay, a lot of this is wishful thinking. And who knows, like, I'm sure a lot of it is based on, like, shoddy testing and all of that. I mean, the thing about weed came out pretty soon in the pandemic, and I'm like, do they have time for a real study?
Okay, no, definitely not.
But still, I mean, it made me happy to think that, hey, I'm doing something right quite accidentally. It's like, did I mention the thing, I think I did, when I got the diagnosis of autism, where they said, yeah, well, we might have put you on some medication, but you're already on it for the seizure.
Oh, it's the head meats medication, yeah.
The lamotrigine, the lamictal, same thing, one's generic. They said that's what we would have put you on. So now I'm going to have to tell my doctor, my neurologist, I'm going to stop fighting him on, you know, getting me off the meds, because I really wanted off the meds. But now I'm like, okay, I got two things to use them for, so fuck it, you know?
Okay, then.
It's time to stop fighting with my doctor.
Oh, my. You never know, that might disappoint him.
I know Dr. Shi. He's pretty okay. He's got a sense of humor.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I remember you saying some stuff about that. Yeah.
All of my neurologists have been Asian. I'm not, like, complaining, but, like even my neurosurgeon was, like, from the Middle East somewhere.
Okay,
I mean, like it's not a problem. It's just something I noticed and went, huh, how'd that happen? You know? I mean, sure, when you notice that sort of thing, people automatically say you're racist, but I'm like, no, it's just a factoid where I went, huh.
I got the draw of everybody from the Indian subcontinent. I mean, everybody who has worked on me in the last 8 months has been Indian.
Well, see, that's the thing, is like, one of the folks I've seen has been Indian. The other two, somewhere in East Asia. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not going to speculate on specific, ancestry. But I mean, I like, one of them was from India.
Okay.
So, but I've always sort of felt that India shouldn't be part of Asia. Like, it just doesn't seem... When I think of Asia, I think of Far East Asia. You know, Japan, China, Vietnam, Korea, all those folks.
Well, don't forget Siberia.
I don't think of that as Asia either. In fact, I always thought that, like Russia should just be its own continent.
Okay.
You know, all by itself, it should just be one continent. But, I don't know, there was just something about India that doesn't seem like it really fits with the rest of Asian culture. Not to me. It has more in common, I think, with, like, Egypt.
You do have a point, yeah.
And I always thought that India should just be part of Africa. Just, I mean, culturally, it's very similar, and it just seems like a better fit.
Okay, okay.
But that's just me. I mean, hell, I'm sure there's someone who thinks that even entertaining that thought, that notion, even in a devil's advocate sort of way, is automatically like so fucking racist, and I'm already persona non grata in some corner of the internet. I'm sure. But I mean, that's actually another thing that comes with the autism, is having these discussions in the most clinical way without any judgment being made whatsoever, but being completely unable to convince people that you're not judging anything.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
you're just spitballing. You're just, having an idle thought, a what if. But you're not allowed to have what ifs in public anymore.
Right, right. Well, there are just so many people just looking for a fight. But,
Yeah.
oh,
And
that's,
you know what? To hell with those people. I'm going to argue with them until they give in and stop. Yeah, anyway.
there you go. This is interesting. Common side effects include nausea, sleepiness, headache, vomiting, trouble with coordination, and rash
Of?
of lamotrigine.
Well, I haven't noticed any of that.
Okay. Serious side effects include lack of red blood cells, increased risk of suicide, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, whatever the hell that is,
Yeah, no idea.
and allergic reactions. Holy shit. No. Gick!
This is an argument for why you should say things normally. Like seriously, all of the nicknames, all of the reworkings of stuff. If you use it occasionally, it's funny. If you use it every time, it gets really old.
It's moo. Boy, I'll tell you, this whole sound system on this thing was just totally fucked up.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to start begging for money to buy a new machine, but I'm not gonna do it now, not with prices the way they are.
Well, at some point I need to replace all of my computers because, well, they're very out of date. Like seriously, it's one of the first things I'll do if I have money after making Twin Redshift.
Okay,
Like
then.
seriously, is upgrade all of my computers as much as I possibly can.
Well, if you want to go to WinCrap 11, you're gonna have to anyway, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really thought it through.
Because the systems tell me that neither of my machines are good for 11. I guess there's something they're missing, some kind of phone home shit or something. I don't know. But
Well, a lot of hardware has been deprecated in 11.
yeah.
So, I mean, like when I was getting this computer upgraded, they were like, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff we can't give you.
Okay.
So,
Which is where I'm going to have to do a lot of looking and trying to find the way I got around the problems I had with OBS. There was a way to get around them, and I lost that way when I had to reinstall some stuff on the machines here. But, I mean, if it's to the point where I have to get all kinds of crazy shit and everything else just to have Win 11, no, it's not worth it.
well, at some point, everything I have will be too obsolete to animate, so I have no choice.
Moo. Yeah, I'll stay with what I've got as long as I can, and as far as I know, I won't live long enough to have to replace anything anyway, so, what the hell.
Well,
I mean, I'm throwing parts as it is, so.
yeah.
Oh, God, this
I
is.
don't know, it's weird. Like, ever since getting the autism diagnosis, I've been doing all these deep dives into it even more than I was before, and like so much is making sense now. But well, I mean, number one, I kind of feel like I'm doing the ADHD autism thing. It's like have this intense interest in something, and then after a while, sort of it fizzles a bit. It would be hard for this to fizzle just because it's so fundamental to, well, everything about me. But I keep worrying that I'm a little bit going overboard or giving myself too much license to do this, that, or the other thing. Now that I have the diagnosis. I mean, there's a lot of myself I hold back just because I know it'll piss people off. And reading what I've read tells me a lot of that comes from autism. And so I try to be aware of it and stop myself from doing certain things. And it's not always easy. But I don't know. I'm trying to not. Well, I mean, I get what was her face. Why am I blanking on her name? Was saying Sparrow was saying that, like, don't use autism, don't use neurodivergence as an excuse. And I'm like, I'm trying really hard not to, but at the same time, there's times where I'm like, I kind of need some accommodation on this one because I'm not as in control as I'd like to be.
Well, I'll just keep my mouth shut.
No, I'm serious.
No, so am I. So am I.
Was it Sparrow? Is that her name?
What? Somebody at movie night?
No, here.
Here. Wait a minute. Who is Sparrow? I'm trying to think hard about this.
I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure there's a bird name in there somewhere.
Ah, you got me. It's probably right out there, right in front of me, and I'm not picking it up. Because I'm pretty sure that there is a Sparrow at movie night, but you're saying not there, so.
Well, okay. There was an incident here where, like, it was actually when she was saying, "Don't let it be an excuse," and I was like, "It's not an excuse. I'm trying to explain," and then I just said, "Fuck it," and left.
Oh, I think I remember. Are you talking about Savage Minnow?
Yes, thank you. That's why it sounded like Sparrow, Minnow, Sparrow. Yes.
Dayu Korostu. Okay.
And like I say, I'm trying really hard to not let it be an excuse, but there are times where I'm like, you know what? Now that I know what the hell's going on, and now that I know what I need to make it not an issue, I mean, but that means asking other people to do things for me that they're probably not going to want to do because they don't understand it. And it's very outside the norm, and they probably don't want me to ask them to do this, that, or the other thing anyway. But if I don't, it's just going to lead to like all kinds of just conflict, And so I'm conflicted on how much I can let myself, like lean into the autism, and how much I still have to hold back because if I don't, it'll like lose me a bunch of friends. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, got you there. So, and I have a feeling it's a matter of 6 of these, half a dozen of the others. I mean, okay, maybe I'm not doing this right. And if I'm not doing it right, tell me how it is I'm not doing this right. But I'm thinking then in a situation like that, there is a little bit of both sides now, isn't there?
Well, of course there is, but I don't know where the line is drawn. And I'm sure not everyone draws their lines in the same place, and I'm shooting in the dark on this one, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused.
Okay, well, yeah, I knew that already, but that's okay. Well, I love you anyway.
I mean, really, it's caused me more than a little bit of stress over the last week.
Okay.
So
I don't know.
I think about it a lot.
Wait a minute. Okay, Mage is pointing to a trailer for a game.
Ghostbusters. I saw but I haven't seen the trailer. But if it's based on the new movie, screw it. I don't wanna. If it's based on, like Ray and Egon and Peter and Winston, sure. But if it's that new movie was such a disappointment. I don't know why people enjoyed it.
I don't know. I just...
They ripped off the plot of the first movie. I mean, that alone disqualifies it as being good, at least for me. You know, it's like if you don't give me something new. And also, I really didn't care about any of the characters.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's always death for any movie for me. And you've heard me bitch about Rogue One, and it's the same complaint. I didn't care about the characters.
Moof beef.
And I really did enjoy, you know, Rey, Egon, Peter, and Winston. I thought they had a great rapport. I thought they were a great ensemble cast. And Janine's great, although in the second movie, meh. You know, and I mean, Louis Tully isn't there to be liked anyway, but, you know, he was well acted by Rick Moranis. So, I mean, it's hard to beat that movie, and they kind of tried by recycling the plot.
Dario Korostu. Okay.
And then some of the useless, pointless fan service didn't help. You don't know what fan service is, do you?
Can't say that I do.
Alright, fan service is like they make a sequel or a reboot or something of a beloved property, and so they just pepper it with all of these things like, hey, remember this from the first movie? You know, a lot of elbow in the ribs kind of shit. Where it's like, we brought back that character, and may only be a cameo, or they're on a poster in the background, but look, you know, it's that shit.
Okay.
I don't like it when they do that, unless it's organic. You know, if it really feels like it fits. For example, well, you haven't seen Cobra Kai, I'm sure, but
Right.
you know, like the third season, it felt like they were shoehorning in every peripheral character from mostly the second movie. But then in season 4, they brought back some characters, and it felt like it made sense. It was like, yeah, I could see a real person doing that. It doesn't feel forced.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Oh my.
It's funny how I get to explain movie shit to you the way you explain science and stuff.
There you go.
Son of a...
No, this looks...
I'm probably gonna have to, like, reboot this computer this time, or as well as, I don't know, I can't seem to get my two computers to talk to each other, and trying to get one of them to freaking render something for Twin Redshift, and it's kind of a problem.
Oops.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to, I mean, I don't know if I have to reboot, but there's one or two things I can try, and if they don't work, I will have to reboot both computers.
Okay.
I mean, network errors suck, but what can you do? I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes the servers just won't fucking speak to each other.
Oh my, Ism, I don't know. I don't know nothing.
Well, we knew that part.
What do we have here? Oh, okay. He's wondering if it's rice or kasha in the halupki. Yay.
Chalupa?
Moo
I don't know.
is the falacatista. Yes, you know the falacatista?
You do realize that, like, half the time I would understand the word you were saying if you didn't say it with an accent? Like, seriously, there are so many times where I have to ask you, what? And it's not until you pronounce it in a way that an American would that I go, oh, you meant that. It was like the number of times I had to ask that one British lady to tell me what the hell a garage was.
Oh, yeah, where you put your car.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. And I was like, what the heck's a garage? And it's the same thing with you. Half the time you say something in an accent, and I'm like, oh, I have no idea what that is. And then you say it without one. And I'm like, oh, can't you just say it the way that people would be understood? You know, like seriously, prioritize being understood over being accurate, please.
Well, not everybody speaks Kate.
Well, not everyone has to. This is English. I mean, like I'm not even being racist here. I'm saying I can't understand you when you say it with an accent. I literally cannot understand the words, even though they're words I know.
I don't know. It is Bofu is what it is. But then again, oh God.
Okay, good. I reset the server and the manager and the queue, and I did it while the other computer was shut down, and it appears to be freaking working. Phew.
So the room is not full of smoke.
Well, not working would have been an error message.
Okay.
And a standard error message, no smoke would not be one of those. I'm just saying.
I've had the occasion to walk into a room full of smoke. That's always good.
From a computer, I take it.
It was a excuse me. It was an outlet strip.
Okay.
One of the cats had pissed on it and it ignited.
Oh. Yeah, my cats have learned that the litter box is where you do your business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Miranda never did quite get that right.
Well, I don't know. Like, okay, here's a question. How do most people discipline a cat? Because I was reading, and it seems like positive reinforcement is the only way. Like, apparently negative reinforcement, like, you can't spank a cat, you know? And yelling at them, they don't make the connection between you yelling at them and the thing that they did.
Yeah. Huh?
Apparently, when they do it right, giving them a treat is the only way to teach them.
Must be what I'm doing wrong then.
I
was never a good disciplinarian for anyone or anything, let alone a cat.
Well, the thing is, I'm not sure they're right, actually. Like, I know some people, they said that they tried that, but the only way that they got their cat to behave at all was to make them look at the thing that was the source of the misbehavior and then flick their ear pretty hard.
Okay.
Like, even swatting them on the ass didn't work, but flicking their ear seemed to get the message across. Now, that seems... Ow! But...
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of... What's the word I'm looking for?
Like, it seems like positive reinforcement would make it seem like, okay, this is the best option, but it doesn't seem like it would prevent the bad option.
I mean, the only thing I've been able to do with any of the kitties that have had me is get the kitty to not do what I don't want the kitty doing while I'm looking. You know, and then if I turn around, the kitty goes back to doing it, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems cruel, but I don't know how to do it in a non-cruel way. So, I mean, I've been sort of half doing it. Like, instead of giving Xander a good old swat, I will, like, point him at the thing he shouldn't have done and just give him a good, like, no kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it seems to be helping, but it was a slow process.
I mean, this one over here, if I walk into the room here, and, you know, she's up on the aquarium, I mean, I don't even have to look at her. I just in the corner of my eye, I see her jumping off the aquarium. She knows that she's not supposed to be there. It's just, okay, I'll just do it while she's not watching. Okay.
I don't know.
I gotta clean that water.
I guess I get what cats are getting out of it, but at the same time, they don't seem to have any like risk analysis. Is it worth it? You
Yeah,
know?
okay, yeah.
I mean, I know Xander still does stuff he shouldn't do. I know that.
Hmm.
Every now and then, I'll hear his paws hitting the kitchen floor, telling me that, yeah, he was up on that counter. You know?
Mm.
So, I know he still does it. I know he's still a bit of a rascal, but what can you do? There's no stopping him.
Yeah,
You
huh.
know, there's only inhibiting. That's the word I'm looking for. There's only inhibiting him.
Mm-hmm. Moof beef. So I've got stuff going on over here. So we're talking about Clarence Thomas and January 6th. Okay.
Meanwhile, I am thinking about making some of my movie theater stir fry again.
Oh my. Okay, that would be moo. That would be very
I'm running
moo.
low on the popcorn, the movie theater popcorn oil, but I'm telling you, cooking chicken in that makes it delectable. You have no idea. It's an unusual taste, it's an unexpected taste, but once you get used to it being unusual, it's heavenly. But like, it's not one of those things like with beer, where beer just tastes like road tar and you have to get used to it. You like it's not so much used to it as tolerating it, you know. Where this stuff is like, whoa, what the hell was that? Okay, it's good, but what the hell was that? You know,
Okay then. Okay.
it's more along those lines.
Oh my, I gotta ox some of that foo. It's I did some filming yesterday, so I've got to edit that one, and I've got to do some more cooking while I'm filming it. And then one of these days, maybe I'll do some of that movie butter.
It looks like I am going to have to. I'm gonna have to reboot.
Oh, is it on fire?
No, but it's not working.
No. Oh, boy, moi. Well, how long have we been doing this?
I wonder.
0243.
That should have. Nothing.
It is the og and foo and his boo and goo and moo. And there's one person watching, allegedly. It's probably Mage. Is that you, Mage? Oh my, yeah, so
Maybe that'll work.
throw it across the room.
If like the IP address got screwed somehow. I don't know.
It is foo-foo. That's what it is.
Well, it says registration accepted.
Yeah, it's Mage. Hi, honey.
General settings. Where's it? Oh, son of a bitch. That got checked somehow.
Did you broke it?
No, but something happened that shouldn't have, and it's simple as a checkbox. This should fix it, and I emphasize should.
Should. If this
doesn't fix it, I have one, and I mean one more thing I can try before I reboot.
A hammer.
No.
Oh.
But you know what I'd do if I had a hammer?
Yeah, in the morning, in the evening, all over this land.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I really don't like that song.
Aww.
Well, I don't. Okay, let me see here. general settings. That's correct. That's correct. Maybe I should do that. Here's hoping.
Can always set fire to it.
Okay, you know what? That's getting really old.
Aw.
Alright, well, here goes nothing.
Literally?
No.
So wait a minute. Why is McConnell trending?
Alright. Now, if this accepts and it is the same, are you receiving a job? Come on, workify you. Yes.
There you go, esta.
Okay. Restart job. Yes. It claims to be active. It claims to be... Damn it. Damn it. I have to reboot. I have no choice.
Aw.
Anyway, I should be getting dinner anywho.
Okay,
It's
well...
almost 7. It's 7:15 here, and yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, we've got Mage watching. Hate to leave him behind, but, you know, what the heck, right, honey? And, take care of that. And I'll tell you what, then, I want to thank everybody who's here, and I want to thank everybody who's not here. And I'll say that you guys keep me going. I'm lying.
I, on the other hand, think you're all a bunch of complete rat bastards.
There you go. There you go. There is the perfect thing for you there.
Hey, come on. I had to stick with the format. We had a protocol going.
Yeah, huh? And, okay. And, as long as you guys keep liking this stuff and as long as I'm alive to do it, I guess I'll just keep doing it. How's that sound? You up for it, Kate?
Oh, yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, then. That's a good thing. And, okay. So, let's see now.
On the flip.
Say again?
I said, catch you on the flip.
Daju Korostu, yes. And to everybody, thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side. See you Sunday.